What is going on, everybody? We are back with yet another episode of Beyond the Deal. My name is Michael. We've got Beardman, Ben Allgaier, the one, the only. What's going on, Ben?
It needs a trim, doesn't it? Woof.
I was thinking it looks good,
This
honestly.
is the winter beard. We're moving out of winter.
So I know we were going back and forth on kind of what we wanted to talk about today. It's pretty fundamental, but it's also very, very current
Mhm.
in terms of how AI is moving. So yeah, start us off.
Yeah, I mean, I see it with my wife's job. She does a lot of different things that I'm thinking in the back of my head. AI can do that. AI can do that. AI can do that. I mean, that's kind of the world we're moving towards, right? Is AI is going to take a lot of these people's jobs. We just saw with Facebook, they let go of what, 20,000 people.
Hmm.
And there's a company that's local in Kansas City that just let go of a ton of people too. And it's all those admin type jobs that just can be replaced. And, yeah, it sucks for the people, but if you can save a paycheck, benefits, all of these things that they have to pay for, why would you not as a business owner?
Yeah, and it's crazy. I was talking to my brother a few weeks ago. He works in a hospital, and he was telling me that he had a couple patients come in who were like executives at a company, and they're getting replaced. He said this one guy was literally an executive, not like at a major Fortune 500 company, but like an executive at a company, and he literally got replaced by AI, and they gave him like a month notice or something like that. So yeah, like obviously the lower level admin jobs are probably going to be first, but it also goes to show that higher ups are not protected, completely
And
protected.
it kind of makes sense. The higher ups are making way more money than the lower level people. So if you're trying to cut fat quick, those upper
There you
level
go.
people are gone.
Yeah. And so this is not a doom and gloom episode about you will be homeless if you don't adjust because the world as we know it obviously is going to change, right? Like, um, we were talking, there will be some form of a universal basic income.
Has to be.
And yeah, there has to be. And not like Bernie Sanders from like 10 years ago calling for universal basic income,
Yeah.
but like literally just out of necessity. Like if people aren't working, everything's going to collapse. So I personally don't have any idea what it will look like. Obviously, the money needs to come from somewhere, um, but we don't need to speculate really on what it will look like. Just the fact that it will be rolled out in some capacity. So, where does that leave most of the population who work jobs that will eventually be replaced by AI?
Yeah, and I think that, you and I are on the same wavelength here. If we want nothing to do with being part of the UBI. So it all comes down to, what can you do that AI can't replace? How can you implement AI into your life to have it work for you, not replace you? So, there's a litany of things out there. I mean, I was watching Chris Corner the other day, and he does a lot of stuff on podcasts with people that are building jobs that are AI proof.
Hmm.
It's really cool to see how creative people are getting to make gobs of money that there's no way AI is going to replace. And I think that's where people are going to have to go. You're going to have skills, kind of like what you and I talked about. You're going to have these skills that AI can't replace, that you can use your creativity and not just be a freaking walking robot where you have ChatGPT in your pocket asking it, how do I wipe my ass? Like there's a lot of people that rely on this stuff for their daily lives. They don't even think outside, like the critical thinking aspect of life is going away so fast. I mean, we've got our phones that give us instant information. We've got Instagram and TikTok where we get our news from. We've got ChatGPT where we can ask it whatever we want and it responds in 2 seconds.
Yeah.
What do you think some of those skills are, though, Mike?
Yeah, I mean, I think on one hand, it's for people who will actually keep their jobs, it will be controlling the AI, right? So there's a subset of people who will be controllers. I don't know if that's strictly software engineers. I know that's where obviously a lot of things are going. It's like prompting the agents. I know at this point, these AI companies have agents that are prompting the agent. So even that, I don't know what that'll look like, that landscape. But I think there's like just hard skills, right? Because you could be a part of the UBI. Again, no one knows what that'll look like. Is it going to be like minimum wage? Is it going to be like 60K a year? I got no idea. But what I do know is that there will be a transfer of people who have hard skills that are building businesses. And even the landscape of building businesses will be completely different because you don't need as many hard skills, right? Like a year ago, to build some of the systems and build some of the funnels would have taken us months. Now we're able to build workflows in 2 days because we have AI. So the hard skills, even that barrier goes down a little bit. It is, for me, just off the top of my mind, I think people skills. I don't think that talking with people, I don't think sales will ever go out of style because I don't think people want to be sold to by a robot. At the
No.
end of the day, like I'm sure some people can and will, but I think the majority of people want that person to person connection. And they'll yearn for that, to your point about the more that we have instant gratification and we have the phones and yada, yada, yada. Um, and I also just think creativity. Like there's a certain, you see life through a different lens when you start a business of ways to capture attention, to convert things into sales. Like it's a whole sphere of itself. The same way like engineering, there's so many things that go into it. Like entrepreneurship is obviously very unique with what it takes, but just the skill of creativity and be like, all right, well, I'm going to identify this need, and here is this solution that I can actually use AI to help me deliver with. I'm just going to bridge that gap and make money off of it.
Hmm.
Capitalism, baby.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, that's that's kind of what we were talking about too, is, you have to have the complex skill reasoning. Leaders are not going to go away. They're still going to be the people that are leading the charge on all of this AI stuff. So if you have leadership skills, great. If you have, the ability to problem solve, to strategize, to, manage relationships, those decision making skills, a lot of people are not going to trust AI for years to make those big, monumental, pivotal decisions that businesses require. Like, I mean, I don't want it doing that for our business. I mean, I would love it to help and help me think through the positives and negatives, but there's so much information that we have that we couldn't possibly input into AI to tell us exactly how to make this decision. That, if you have that skill set and you can see the whole tree and the branches of everything that's being input into that decision, you're just going to be put in a different realm, or you're going to have to go move into a different space. And it kind of talks about all of the businesses that we do, right? Like real estate. People don't want to be sold, they don't want to sell their house to a robot. And I don't think that that's going to change for a long, long time.
Mm-hmm.
Security, that's tough to replace with AI. It's tough to have something install security cameras or build you an entire proposal of your business of how to better secure your entire facility. And painting is our other business, and installing windows. I don't know when AI is going to be able to paint a house or install windows on a house, some of these trades, right? And we're
Yeah.
seeing it in these businesses. We're seeing a lot more painters jump into the business because painting is a brainless job. It is not difficult to paint a house. It's difficult to teach an AI bot to paint a house, but it's not difficult for a person to do that. So the competition is growing in these service-based businesses, but that's why we pivoted. We pivoted our business from strictly unique painting to now we have unique painting and windows. Windows is a difficult skill. Not every Joe Schmo off the street can go measure, install, procure the product, and be able to present a customer with, here's your window job that we just did for you. So these things are all going to change too. And, especially on the real estate side, I just think that it's going to be a very long time before we see robots doing deals on real estate. I mean, that guy in Florida sold his property on ChatGPT, but that's a completely different scenario. I don't know.
That's crazy. I didn't even see that. But yeah, you're right. I was thinking the same thing about like trades and how those are going to become more and more popular, like a pressure washing business, like garage cleaning businesses, like these types of things that you can pair with whatever form of UBI that exists. That you need you need just like I don't even want to say you need sales skills because I don't think sales is that hard, but I think sales is one of those skills that will never go out of style. So that's the place that I would start, especially if I was like maybe a little bit younger and I want to learn skills. I would obviously start with sales because that'll fix every other every any business that'll be valuable. But again, just going back to that problem, you talked about problem solving. I was talking about just the creativity of like identifying needs and providing the solution. Even things like window cleaning or pressure washing, like it just requires a little bit of maybe grit is the word I'm looking for. Like there's a creativity,
Yeah.
but just grit of like going out and just doing it and being all right if it falls flat in your face, which from seeing people who start out in real estate, that seems to be like the biggest bottleneck for them is that going out and just doing it. You know, usually when you work a job, you're told, hey, this is your task for the day, for the week, for the quarter, like go and do it. But when you are the boss, you have to go and do it yourself. And obviously, if you have a mentor or a coach, they'll tell you what to do, which is great, but you still need to go and like do the thing. And so a lot of that is mindset. It is walking a path that you have not done before. And the sooner that you can start building that skill, even if the business absolutely flops, like there is so much value and lessons in that. And I know that maybe sounds a little cheesy, but it's so true. Like start a business, throw $50 in Facebook ads to a window cleaning or go door to door and ask people if they want you to clean their windows, whatever it is, pressure wash, like it doesn't really matter. Just go get that experience. And even if you wind up having to pivot 6 months later, that is invaluable experience that you're building.
And those people, I mean, think about the generations below us. I don't know about you, but looking at the generations that are younger than us, not a lot of those people have the grit to go and do these kinds of things. I don't want to say they were raised soft, but they were raised soft.
Hmm.
And if you're in that generation and you have a little bit of grit, you're going to put yourself light years ahead of everybody else that you're competing with because most of these people just, want to become TikTok famous or think that they've earned the right to make a bunch of money for what? Because somebody online told you that you deserve to make a bunch of money. I mean, my dad's a classic example. He hires people all the time. His company hires thousands of people. And he's got kids that'll come to him after 6 months and go, "Hey, I've worked here for 6 months. Do I get a raise?" What have you done? No, that's not how this works. He's like, the work
Six
ethic
more
is
years.
just not there.
Yeah.
And if you have a little bit of that drive, a little bit of that work ethic, and I mean, it goes into what we teach our students every single day. Do the things that other people aren't willing to do, and you're going to have the results that other people don't have.
Yeah. You're right. And unfortunately, it's true. I feel like the old person saying that, like the younger generation's got no grit. But I mean, my grandparents probably said the same thing about me. I mean, and now I'm saying the same thing. Um, it's different kind of grit. It's
Mhm.
not like, you know, like my grandpa was a contractor, had his own contracting business. Like I don't do hard labor. Like I'll be very honest about that. Um, but it's a different kind of grit when you start businesses in college and you just try to figure it out. And so it doesn't need to be perfect. It shouldn't be perfect and it won't be perfect. So I think start with that expectation. And yeah, just for something tangible, like pick a skill and hone it. Like obviously real estate, I don't think there's gonna be a lot of people selling their houses to AI outside of that example that I didn't even know about. But that's why I think real estate is great because you are learning the sales skills, you are understanding what it's like to talk to people, and then we're also dealing with 300 to $1 million houses that can give you more leverage, that you can make $20,000 in a single deal
Mhm.
and also hone these skills and hone this entrepreneur experience for whatever comes next in the next 5, 10 years.
And I think that people think that they're behind because of, the way that AI is moving. They're not you're not behind. Everybody is learning this. I mean, the people that are learning this are a couple months ahead of you, maybe. This is the time to get in and learn how to do these things, learn how to implement AI into your life and into a business because no one knows what the hell they're doing. We're making it up as we go. But
Yeah.
we're doing it. We're not sitting on the sidelines waiting for the perfect opportunity to implement these things. We're doing it right now actively.
Yeah, that's a great point. Definitely don't fall for any fear mongering of, oh, it's too late to get into AI. Like, it's not too late. Like, especially,
We're on the precipice of this.
yeah, like, especially if your goal is to make, like, yeah, if your goal is to make like 5 to 10K a month from some kind of online business, like, you're not anywhere near too late, you know? Like, and the thing is, it changes so fast. We're building things that probably in a year from now, it'll take us a day to build, where right now it's taking us a week or 2 weeks to build. Like,
Yep.
so yeah, I think that's all I got. Pick a
Cool.
skill, just do it.
Yeah.
Don't wait.
Yeah, and I think the last point here is what we wrote down at the bottom. You can either be the person that AI works for or the person that AI replaces. Math is the math.
You choose red pill, blue pill. All right, cool. Hope you guys got some value out of this. We will be back next time. Let us know what you think in the comments. You like it? You got something else you want us to talk about? We want to hear from you. Ciao for now.